All right, we're going to just... I want to quit without saving. So here's what's going down. That is the FiiO K19. Now, previously on this channel, a year after this thing arrived, the K17 arrived. And it's a DAC amp combo, and it's beautiful, and it's lovely, and it sounds amazing, and it looks stunning. This looks stunning. And this came out way before the K17, yet I have not reviewed it. Because this. And because there's a nightmare that's living inside of my soul. The beer can't get it out of my soul. So, this is essentially just a DAC amp combo. But, and it's a huge, round, full-bodied butt. This is not for you. It's not. It literally isn't. Let me see if I can get these fucking lights to change. I've been trying so bad. Look, I'm on the FiiO control app. It's connected. I think I could turn off the lights. See, I could turn the lights off. Those lights. Drop it a cable. I turn those lights off, and if I turn them on, it's great. But then they start going through rainbow things, and it's based on temperatures and brightness, and based on audio format is the color. But if I go to custom, and I'm like purple, be purple. Sometimes they're purple and sometimes they're not. And every time I'm on this stupid app, it just stops working. And I can select a Bluetooth codec and I can pick the inputs and I can go to the EQ. And technically I can tweak the EQ that's built in internally on the phone, but it just keeps spinning. And it wasn't, and now it's just spinning, and then there's a guidebook, and please, thank you. Anything but that, please. So, these are not what you'd use to mix and master music, but I need to make it through this review, so you're going to have to fucking give me a second, all right? So firstly, this unit is $364.99. It's $365 more than the K17. Now, this is a K19. That's 2 more Ks. So it's obviously worth it. Before we get on to like the complexity of this with the real-time audio analyzer and the 31 band EQ and the loadable exportable presets and compensator threshold attack release ratios, the limiter THR attack release, and the DRC DRE, like, this is scary unit. This is going to make Zeos work. I don't like work. I like music. All right? If you like music and not work, leave. Leave a like on the video and fuck off, because I'm saving you the next 35 minutes. So this. Let me actually kick that on, because we're going to use this as we're going to test the output of that. To do that. Let me just alt-tab to my... Is my browser closed? Because I had to restart because it wasn't working. Oh, I get it, because it wasn't working. So, by all intents and purposes, this is a very clean DAC amp. So clean that you're going to want to sleep. FiiO has had a 50-50 ratio. All their little portable Bluetooth devices are lovely. BTR 5 was like the king, God, king, emperor of things, and BTR 7 came out, was even better. BTR 15, BTR 17, BTR 3, the little tiny, all those are great. And yet they're DAPs, and I have a couple DAPs here, but like the M11 was like the only one that had was like everyone kind of agreed was good, but then after that, every single thing kind of sounded boring. And then you move over and the K11 R2R shows up, and it sounds this luscious, beautiful R2R DAC, and this little package for $170. I'm linking it in the description. Go buy a FiiO K11 R2R. And that was, beaten only by $1,000 K17, but it's so nice with the knobs and everything. So what the fuck is your problem? So let me tell you what this thing's problem is. First, it comes with this, by the way, which is if you put it in stand-up mode, because it'll work either standing up or laying down, but if in stand-up mode, it comes with that, so you could use it as a headphone stand. I'm already in love. I already love this. But we have to complain. By the way, this video is sponsored by Magia and the new hard audio adapters, which you can use and plug into all your things. So you can have hard audio cable adapters, which will be linked in the description. So, volume knob and button for power, menu knob and button for input, front mount USB-C. You get a 4.4, a quarter inch, and a full-size XLR in the front. If you choose to leave the brackets on the bottom, they're screwed in so that you can get these wonderful looking feet that actually, like, they kind of mess up putting things next to it because they stick out so far, but we're talking stable and lovely. Let me take this off now that I've displayed. The most important thing is this. Hi-Fi Min could have done this with the EF500 $499. They didn't include the little piece of plastic, so you couldn't, and it was a little bit too short. The looks of this thing. So you get this really skinny, narrow thing. You get this tiny fuck-off screen, which I don't know. Does it auto-rotate? No, I think I have to rotate it in the menu, or does it have to go this way? I think in the menu I have to go in there to rotate that. But that little screen, that little 1-inch screen, will just turn. The problem is that screen is not really... It's not. Let's just put it this way. It's not. It's not the screen on the K17, which is OLED, and the swipe, and you could touch control it, and oh my God, all those settings. This is this is the screen literally from the BTR7, the little tiny portable. And it could tell me in the corner, the volume is 80. We're on super high gain. We're using the phones out and pre-out combo. I think 2.0 is the USB connectivity, which we're not actually plugged in USB, except for the RS-3232 port for the fucking laptop. We're on the optical input using PCM441, and we've got an EQ enabled, and it's jazz, because I went in here, and I'm like, I want jazz. Now, if I put it to classical, that's going to update. Now it's going to say classical. So now, everything pushed through this, pushed into these lovely ZMF headphones. Oh, God, the atriums are so fucking good. Specifically with those pads, will be in classical mode, which looks like that. Fine. The front of the unit is fine. Let's look at the back of it if I can spin this around and not lose my goddamn mind. So the back of the unit. I like doing this laying down sideways thing. You into this? Cool. Here's your antenna. It's your Bluetooth antenna. You get HDMI ARC in and out. So you could actually put this in a living room scenario or in anything that uses the ARC audio return channel and HDMI, and you can extract audio through that as an input. That's unique. Usually that's only a thing you find in like powered monitors designed to be going in your living room, where you would hook them up and be like, I'm going to steal the audio from the TV and bring it back. You can do that with this. Why you would, I don't know, but there you go. You get a ground or lift switch in case you're getting a grounding loop from your power or from one of your sources, and you'd have bad times. You flip that switch, it solves all your problems. Followed by, above that, I got to lean it now, trigger DC 12 volt in and out, which can turn on and off other equipment that are 12 volt triggers. You get these two USB-C ports. This first one is labeled RS-232. RS-232 used to be a serial bus port, and things used to plug in with, I don't know how many fucking 15 pins, and you used to screw them in. Now it's a USB-C. That's what's hooked up to this laptop. That's why we can see the EQ and fuck with it all here, and then you can put on the real-time analysis, RTA, even though it doesn't do anything. If I play music, I play Pearl Jam or Paul Anka, nothing happens with the RTA. It just sits there. It just looks cool. I can just turn it off there, but maybe I need a different input. I don't know. I don't want to dig that deep. I want to remember why you're on this channel. Remember why I exist. I'm here to enjoy music. This is for someone who wants to work on music. Huge fucking difference. Pro audio has never been my thing, and people have a lot of opinions in pro audio, and people rely on pro audio to make money and make a living and make music. It should be the most important thing for an audiophile is to respect people in the audio industry on this half of it, on the pro end of it. Because if they make good recordings, you get to listen to those good recordings. Let's continue along. I'll rant later. So you get a RS-232, which is specifically to run this program, the FiiO K19 DSP version 1.00, which required me to restart the computer and fuck around with all sorts of drivers to get it to work. Your USB in, which is a standard, audio USB in. I may have to run both. And then this would come up as, because right now this isn't an audio device in this laptop. It doesn't even know this is an audio device. That's just the control app talking through the COM3 port. I've got the fiber optic input coming from the other computer, her computer, which is giving me Paul Anka and Patsy Montana and the Prairie Ramblers. Classic. Now that is classic. Yodeling's my favorite. You got a coaxial digital input, and then next to that, you got a coaxial digital output, an optical output. So ins and outs. You get your line outs. You get 4 RCAs, so 2 full stereo channels. You get a full-size set of XLRs, which are currently going to the QES reference here, but I have nothing plugged into it, so we'll have to remedy that. And then below that, you get a switch that says AC/DC. Doesn't automatically store and play AC/DC songs. That would be badass. Instead, this is something that it did on another one of the FiiO devices, where you can choose if you're going to use a 110 cord, an IEC cord, with 110 coming in, and the power supply that's located internally, or if you want to flip that over to DC, the unit will die, but then you have a DC port so that you could use, do I have it here? Like, where was I? Oh, it's over there. I have a big 12-volt DC transformer, an external one that's like 11 amps. And you could technically use that instead to get cleaner power. The problem is when I tried to use that thing, which I've used in the past, I got dirtier power. It didn't sound as good. There was some crunching and noise with IEMs. I was not impressed. So I'm back to the internals. Whether that was my power supply or this unit, we don't know. But you do have the option because they have made the power supply in this quite small. And if you want to really get like all the muscle out of it, instead of trying to use a little power supply like that, use a big fucking power brick, plug it in, good to go. It's a nice feature. Is it necessary for this? Probably not. The looks of it. First of all, the honeycomb on both sides. I was reading up on the page, and apparently, like, it's an impressive feat of engineering. Like the ultra-thin die-cast unibody shock-proof construction where they have the main boards and everything are installed. Oh, it's going to do a thing. And then radiate heat through the entirety of the thing. Look how many square millimeters there are of honeycomb mesh convection heat dissipation area. You get to describe that to your very nerdy friends because that's the only ones who are going to give a shit about that. The HDMI apparently will bridge and also press to I2S and SPDIF with 192 24-bit sampling rates. Oh, it's so good. There's apparently 5 customer reviews, only 2 written here. One guy said if you like planars and fucking with EQ, this is for you. Gave it 5 stars. The other guy said use it for his H800S, impressive performance, but the package looked damaged, but it's fine. Otherwise, he would have returned it. 5 stars. Those are very unhelpful reviews, which is why you're here, hopefully. Is available in black or silver. That's pretty much all the information we're going to get out of that. I'm now going to tell you what this unit is fucking for. This unit is for professionals. This is the most bland sounding amplification I've ever heard from FiiO. And you could take that as a big old negative or a big old positive, because if you're one of the people who's going to sit here and fuck with EQs, and I mean like the JDS Labs Element 4 had a wonderful EQ interface. You plugged it in on the website. Oh, you do this and you save it. This is I can't even get. I need to open up my browser again because I can't even get to show you what it truly looks like. Great, Firefox is installing updates. It'll start in a few moments. The depth, this is what this unit, you don't buy this because you're like, hey, I need a DAC amp and I got like $1,000 to spend. Buy the K17. Be happy. Be fucking happy. Yes, I know there's vertical tabs and I love them. Thank you. I'm looking up a problem to solve for this thing and it brought me to a forum post from 2004. All right, DSP introductions, DSP functionality. Okay, so here we go. You go through, you got the main setup there, then it fails to load, then you go to the thing and the device manager to make sure it works, then you put this on, and you got all these fucking limitations and adjustments and limiter tracks, and you go up here, you get this whole thing. So I feel like I have to learn to become a professional audio engineer to know what even fucking what any of these things do. Because it's still going. And according to this, next is null. So let me open that in a new tab in case it actually... Oh, it's JavaScript void. So it actually is null. Hold on. Let's see what null comes up as. It's a basic EQ. It's just blown out to the just insane 31 band EQ proportions. If you don't need this, you don't need this. The fact that the amplification in it, and it is an ESS DAC. It handles MQA. I'm going to do that again. Hold on. Make sure you get it. It is a Sabre Pro, and I'm not blaming the DAC. I'm not even blaming FiiO. This was never marketed as, oh, are you an audiophile? Do you want to listen to luxurious audio by the fireplace with your wonderful wooden headphones? Well, then you should buy not fucking this. This is strictly for people who mix, master, or you're a tweaker. In both forms of the word tweaker, you are a tweaker. Here, wait. Let me swap this out for this using this Magia interconnect by Heart Audio. Well, actually, it's co-signed by Heart Audio because instead of having him try to make this and this and this, make it all match, the factory that's making the Magia cable made it, and we're just giving 10% to James. Isn't that nice? Because I wanted to use Heart Audio stuff, but he's like, I can't fit it into my workflow and make all this shit work. So I'm like, don't worry. We got this. So he'll be selling them on his site, and you'll be able to buy them on APOS. And no matter what, James from Heart Audio gets a fucking cut because James from Heart Audio is a boss. So let's put this on now. No EQ, optical. Give me this, God. Fucking play me something. So now we're on pre-pro. I'm going to... If you hit the power button, it turns off the screen. You turn it, hit it again, it turns on the screen. You hold it down, it turns it off. You hold it down, it turns it on. You press this once. You get into the menu. You hold it. Nothing happens, but it brings you back to the menu. If you are not selected on the menu, hold on, get the fuck out of the menu. All right, I just gotta get out of the menu. Get out of the menu. Get out of the menu. Leave. Back. Return. Cease. The volume will still change without changing the menu. So, if you fucking get out of this, and then you just turn it, you then get the options for USB, coaxial, optical, HDMI or HDMI ARC or Bluetooth, which is interesting that HDMI and HDMI ARC are two separate things. Hit return, back to that menu. So back to menu, equalizer. All the settings, and they are as follows: jazz, rock, R&B, hip-hop, pop, dance, classical, and then 10 customs are all available right there. Now, the 10 customs, to fuck with them, you either have to do it on the phone app, which I'm having a fucking nightmare problem with, or this thing, which I was having a nightmare problem with, but I managed to get working. So if you have 10 headphones that you really fucking hate, this is your unit. I can't think of another reason to own this. Because having 10 customized EQs is very nice in theory. So you could load this up. You could change you just come here and you're like, you know what I really want? Yeah, I'm going to put it on custom. Let's put on custom 4. It's going to do a thing where it updates via the USB. We're now on custom 4. And now I'm going to be like, you know what we want? We want bass. And then if you drag sideways, what was it? Was it right click and drag? There we go. Let's make that Q value wider. And we're going to drop that because no one likes fucking mid-range. And you know what? Murder me with treble. And make that real narrow. Hold on. There we go. So now I've got the worst possible EQ ever that it's outputting through the rear. So we need now to go into the menu again. We've already picked the EQ. Gain, which is the same problem I had in the K17, which is low, medium, high, super high, ultra high, instead of super low, low, medium, high, super high. That would be better. We're on super high because these headphones are actually pretty hard to drive. Output select. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set it from pre-pro to... Remember those nice switches that were on the front of the K17? Yeah, they're just buried in menus here. So line out, pre-out, phones out. We want probably the line out, actually. Okay, so now I'm using the QE as reference. With that, and I'm gonna reset the EQ. I actually liked it with that random fucking just hold on, let me just do that again. Super wide bass boost. Drop the mid range a little bit, and give me a nice little sparkly treble, like point. Love it, perfect. This is what I've been looking for my whole life. Who would have guessed? So here's the biggest problem with that. I love these headphones, stock, and the fact that I have to do like that to love them is because the amplifier is so fucking boring. Like, linear isn't even the word, because I use this on the desk. Every time you've seen this on my desk for the last, like, 8 months, has not been because, oh, it's such a good amplifier. I love how... No, it's because I need something that's dead. I need deadness. This is the most dead amplifier I've heard. DAC amp, I should say, because the DAC's probably participating, too. So we've got our output select set to full that. Max volume you can set between 120 and 20. The filters you could set slow, mini, fast, appetizing, brick wall, hybrid fast. Yeah, again, filters I can never hear. If you can, that's fine. I had one beer and I'm an angry drunk already. Dimmer. Can you guess what dimmer does? Yeah, it dims the screen. Congratulations, we're doing great. Screen timeout, we know what that is. Rotate screen, so there you go. You get to choose 90, 180, or 270. I don't know why you would ever do 180. Because you can't screw this in on the bottom. I guess maybe they just couldn't pull that menu item out. So yeah, we're just gonna put it back to default. Smart idle time for if you just leave this unit running. I do have it set on 30 minutes. If I just leave it here with nothing playing, it will turn off. That's a nice feature. Return. Trigger in. U audio, which is USB audio settings, language, factory reset, version update. Whatever the fuck a CMIT ID is. There's my CMIT ID. Spoilers. And that's it. If this unit sounded good, like, and I know that's like, what does that mean, Zeos? Well, the K19 and the K17 could not fucking be any more different in their default, what they sound like, just states. Everything I praised in the K17 of FiiO, where it sounds warm and lush, and it's got this width to the sound that it's, oh my God, it's like class A. This doesn't have that. This has the polar fuck you opposite. This is as neutral and plain and dead as I've ever heard an amplifier sound. Like, THX 789's got more flavor than this. And it looks so good. Like, it just... And I'm wondering, could you make an EQ? Because I've already discussed this in the previous video, where you can't just EQ in, good. Because there's people out there who will argue, well, if you don't like the way your cheap amplifier sounds, make some EQ tweaks and you've got a perfect Class A amplifier. That is not how that works. That's not how that works. The only reason Valencia works is that it passes through the stuff before it. You have if I preempt Valencia with this, it would just be the loudest, boring amplifier on the planet Earth. This adds nothing. That scene from Predator, where it's like, you hit nothing. Nothing. It's nothingness. It's just nothing. Unless you're doing this, there's no reason to buy this. It is a wonderful piece of engineering as far as the build goes, as far as like, how they assembled it and the components. But from a man just sitting here trying to fucking... The ADI DSP chip not only ensures the audio signals after the PEQ adjustment are of high quality with the minimal distortion, it helps to enable powerful system protection functions that safeguard both the K19 and the other device and the headphone connected to it. So apparently it has 6.4 billion instructions per second it can handle. It's got the ESS flagship DACs. You could fucking fooled me. Dual Accu Silicon high performance ultra low phase noise femtosecond crystal clock oscillators, and it claims 8 watts a channel at 32 ohms, which is a fucking lot. So I guess the real question is, will it run tungsten? So hold on, let me let's go to gain. We'll put this on ultra high. We'll go to output select. We'll put this on phones out. There is a click when you whenever you fuck with things, though, which is nice. It's nice to hear things click. Where's my get over here? Oh, am I rolling around on USB cables? Get over here. All right, let's make this go real quick. Look at this beautiful purple Maggia cable. So there's no point in this, because even if this can run tungsten, you do not need to EQ this headphone. If you haven't seen the review, it's currently locked away on Patreon jail because I feel bad making the wait time any longer than like 8 or 9 months, which is what it is for these. So if you'd like to see me just literally jizz on them, you're going to have to do that behind my paywall. But even if this does work, these headphones prefer, not need, but prefer a little bit of something. A little bit of tube, a little bit of Class A warmth. I know, because Valencia. And I've literally, that's what I'm bringing. I'm bringing I probably should disable that. Hold on. EQ bypass. It still says custom 4. I wonder if that, I'm just going to reset it. And then I'm going to change it from custom to off, which is kind of fun to go through the different pre-called setups and to see why would jazz need, who decided that? Those are such bullshit things. It's like, oh, let me set the EQ for rock music. Bitch, what? What rock music? Which album? Who's singing? Which master? Fuck you. I hate that. I hate that there's a jazz EQ setting. This is a $1,400 pro-end DAC amp that's designed for people who make music to just EQ their studio monitor or something. Don't be bullshit. They're being bullshit. That's as loud as this will go. And it's running them. I wouldn't say it's running them well. Prison Sex by Tool. I'm at 120 out of 120 on ultra high. And I probably want about 10% more headroom. And it's just not... it's making sound. It's absolutely... I'm listening to music right now. You could hear I'm listening to music. Techmaster PEB is playing, which is... It's so fucking linear and boring. I want to sleep. Yes, I want to quit. Oh, that sounds good. That's a string quartet version of Incubus's Stellar. That sounded good. But that's the thing. These are fucking Modhouse tungsten double-sided. They should make me come every track. And despite being pretty fucking loud out of this, no semen has ejaculated. So it's like, why bother? FiiO, I love you. I really do. I love FiiO. They have some misses. This is a miss. For me, maybe for you, if you were considering this or that, because this has slightly higher, more cost. And it's the 19 versus 17, don't. If you're in this game to just put on music and fucking be happy, don't buy this. Buy the 17. I didn't bring the 17 down here. You know why? Because then all you'll be looking at is how pretty the fucking 17 is. No, this has a purpose. If I keep it for another few months, it'll have that exact same purpose. Set everything to neutral, bullshit, plug it in IM, assess it on the most neutral, boring fucking source I've got in the house, then unplug it and try it in everything else because it's more fun. Fuck, the Atom 2 is more fun. There's just... If you're curious about what I'm talking about and you've never heard a dead, flat, boring amplifier, here you go. Go look for it at a show. FiiO sometimes brings it along. But if you don't need that, don't this. That's it. I'm done. I could keep complaining. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I've got to make sure that the right people get hard on from this video who are like, did he say it's so neutral? You can't even fucking feel it. Ugh! Not me. That ain't me. That's you? Fine. Grab it. Looks kind of cool. Love the fact that it does this. So oh my God. Which is kind of locked. I mean, the sliding is probably fine. But I mean, hopefully the magnets and tungsten don't destroy the fucking thing. That's a cool thing. But it ain't a good thing. Anyway, I'm done. Wallpaper in the wallpaper hoard. I found the most business-like woman I could find. She's putting on her gloves. She's fully clothed. She's ready to fucking fuck shit up. Just not for fun though. So yeah, I'll link to this, but I'm also going to link the K17, the K11R2R, other great FiiO products. So the fucking UTWS 5 2025s, little clip-on thing, great. I got the BTR 17 down here somewhere. There, great things, cheap, great things. This, not for me, bro. Not for me, and probably not for you. Patreon subscribe to support this channel. If you like these mad ravings and want to support their creation, by all means, please. Patreon for $7 a month, you get to see reviews early, participate in yard sales, get to lossless sound demos, and for $15 a month, you get to ask me questions directly, immediately, where I will answer your questions because you're in the Telegram chat with me, and those people are paying, and you're paying, and I will answer any fucking question you have. Politely and nicely, without saying the F word if you request it. Or I'll say the F word all the time if you request that as well. But once you're in that chat, once you're in the patronage chat, you also get into a lifetime swap meet channel to buy, sell, and trade gear. So maybe this will end up in there. Maybe I won't put this in a yard sale and it'll just be someone fucking please take this behind the scenes. But then I have to deal with people bidding, and that's I don't want to know. Just you have your reasons, you buy this. I don't have my reasons to keep it. Other than the fact that it's super kind of cool looking and neutral. So yeah, I'm done. She's done. You're done. I can disconnect that. I didn't even bring the power supply for the laptop because I knew it wasn't going to be running this for that long. Besides, it's my LG Gram, which weighs nothing, by the way. LG Grams are the best fucking laptops. I brought this to a LAN party. I played fucking Unreal Tournament on it. It was amazing. I'm done. You're done. We're done. Thank you. I could fucking finally cross this off the list. Because I respect it, but I don't like it. Oh, it comes with a remote control, which has a heart. That doesn't do anything. In fact, I don't know what most of these do. I know that does volume. That's his next track. I don't know, but it does. It's got a remote. I'm going to tack this on to the very, very, very end. I think the purpose I would use this for isn't just checking like outputs for IMs with the blandest fucking thing possible. This DAC might be the most neutral DAC because I know this reference amplifier is Class A Italian wild shit. So I've been putting it on. I put it on Eris because I know Eris like the back of my hand, and it's never quite sounded like this through that amp, and I've listened to it. It really does strip away everything because it's still a good DAC. It doesn't add anything to the sound. I don't know. Maybe if you're looking for the most neutral DAC, like it doesn't KN2, Cyan 2, like enrich anything. But man, this reference. Also, the reference seems to have a lot more power. I wonder if that's putting out pro voltage because that's a different XLR's standard is pro voltage, which is like I don't know how many. It's like fucking 9 volts or something dumb. Doesn't say it does, but who the hell knows? Anyway, I'm going back to listening to Eris on the reference through that and just being kind of shocked, actually. Maybe I'll use that as a source for something else.